Today's topic, how to feel rich. Why should you actually want to feel rich? Why should you want to have this feeling of I am wealthy, I am abundant? Yep, exactly, that's why. Because you want to feel rich in order to become rich. You want to feel abundant in order to become abundant. Feeling rich deep down inside of yourself allows you to attract more money. Because by feeling rich, you put yourself in a position where you can attract more money because you already create the feeling that you want to have in the future right now. And that's why you will attract your future in your reality. And let's start with the first tip. And the first tip is flossing on Instagram versus creating the emotion. And to be honest, I as a German think it's pretty funny that it's called flossing when it comes to showing off your wealth or pretending to have wealth on Instagram, because I always thought flossing is something that you do with your teeth. But anyway, and this is something that I believe really got out of control in the last couple of years, where everybody pretends to be such a huge influencer and huge entrepreneur on Instagram with all the sports cars and all the boats and all the money and all the cash. Why? Because it's easy to get followers, because every 15-year-old boy will follow you and go, oh my god, that's so exciting, he's so successful. But let's have a look at the facts. It's not always true that what you see on Instagram is not real wealth. The people who buy the biggest cars are often the ones with the smallest bank accounts. And especially when it comes to these entry models from, for example, Audi or Mercedes. I mean, one of my friends who's a millionaire, he once said that the perfect cars for broke people are Audi A4, Mercedes C, and BMW 3. Why? Because these are just the cars that make you look a little bit wealthy, but they are cheap enough to get the financing and the leasing when you're completely broke. And we live in this society where trying to impress others with the things that you can't actually buy has become a sport. And what I want you to think about when it comes to this idea of feeling rich and eventually by feeling rich attracting more money into your life. How will you attract more money? By trying to impress others and by staying broke because you constantly buy stuff that never really allows you to save any money? Or by feeling rich inside of you? There's a big, big difference. And then I want you to spend money on the things that rich people spend money on. And now you might be saying, yeah, Sebastian, but you just told me to not buy an expensive car. Well, first of all, that's not what I really said. What I said was that you shouldn't buy these things when you can't afford them because you might think, hey, I want to impress someone. I just don't want you to buy stuff that keeps you broke in order to impress others, because that's a vibration of lack. But here's the interesting point that I want you to think about. Rich people who vibrate in abundance, rich people who are confident, rich people who feel rich, they don't have the need to impress others. I know quite a few millionaires and they don't have supercars. Most of them don't even own cars, believe it or not. A lot of millionaires don't own cars, at least in Europe. I think in the US it's more common that everybody has a car, but in Europe it's more common that you don't have a car. And the last job I had in Germany gave me this insight, even though I hated that job, but in hindsight, this was the one thing that it was really useful for. I still remember this day when one of my colleagues, the sales manager in this company, which was a company that sold luxury beds and luxury furniture, like really high priced stuff. And he told me this one secret that blew my mind back then. But nowadays I understand it because I know a lot of millionaires. But back then it was a real revelation for me. And he said, the people who have a little bit of money, they flash it around and they look rich. The people who have a lot of money, you would never know. Why? Because rich people spend money on convenience and experiences and not on things that are supposed to impress others. For example, I once had a conversation with a guy who worked for a company, or let's say for a brand that starts with G and ends in Uchi. And he told me that the majority of his customers are not rich people. They are broke people and middle-class people who want to pretend that they are rich. And this need again comes from a place of lack. And lack is the opposite of abundance. And when you're vibrating at this frequency of lack, you won't attract more money. So ask yourself, what does a rich person spend money on? Does a rich person spend $3,000 on a handbag to impress others, or spend $2,000 for a business class flight that leads to convenience, to an amazing experience, to connections, to networking in the business class lounge? What do you think a rich person spends money on? Would a rich person rather spend his money on healthy food, for example, buy 5 avocados for $5 that make him feel good, that make him healthy, or spend $5 on junk food? Really ask yourself, what do rich people spend money on? Always ask yourself, what would a truly rich person who's so confident that he or she doesn't have the desire to impress anyone, what does this person spend money on? And these people spend money on themselves, on feeling better, on experiences, on convenience, and they also invest in themselves. And if you are ready to invest in yourself, just a very small amount of money in order to attract large sums of money, then you can check out the link in the description and get instant access to my brand new program, Money Manifestation Magnet. And I want you to close your eyes and imagine what it would feel like to be rich. It's really that simple. You don't need to pose in front of an expensive car on Instagram that you don't even own. You just have to create the emotion. You can create emotions out of thin air. Close your eyes and imagine what would it feel like to be rich. And if you can't imagine yourself being rich because you still have too much resistance, then just create the emotion without labeling yourself as rich. Just feel rich, feel wealth, feel abundance. And if you close your eyes and you really try this and you give it a shot, you try it more than once, I promise you this feeling will come up. And then you're in the right vibration to attract more money. And treat yourself like a rich person. Let's say you want to create the feeling of a rich person with a successful business. How does this person treat himself or herself? Would you get enough sleep so that you can be productive at work? The idea that successful people don't sleep is absolutely insane. That's what motivational videos on YouTube tell you. Sleep faster, sleep less, and then work, and Jeff Bezos, who is with Elon Musk and Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on the planet, he sleeps 8 hours a night. And would a truly rich person spend $30 on a relaxing massage at the weekend to make him feel relaxed, to make him calm down, or spend $30 on a cocktail to make a photo for Instagram? And what if you still want to look rich to create the feeling of being rich? Yes, I get it. It's easier if you look rich to feel rich. I get it. I mean, for me nowadays, I could look like a homeless guy, but I would still be able to feel rich because I'm so strong in my vibration. But what if you're starting out and you want to have this rich person look? Let's say you want to have a nice suit or you want to have a watch that looks expensive. Let me explain that with an example. When I was living in Bangkok, I was almost broke because I was working as a university teacher and I made less than $1,000 a month. But I looked like $1 million. I got myself a tailor-made suit for $90, and for $90 you get the pants, you get the vest, and you get the blazer, you get everything. And I bought myself a gold and silver watch. How much did it cost? $4. And I truly think that it's absolutely insane to spend more than, I would even say $100, but especially a couple of $100 on a watch. Because let's face it, you don't even look at it. You just use your smartphone when you want to check the time. And I just want to let you know that if you really want to practice feeling rich by looking rich, you can do it for such a tiny amount of money. Do you really think anyone can see the difference between a $3,000 suit and a $100 suit? Nope. I mean, yes, maybe if they rip your suit from your body and then look inside the suit to find out what brand this suit is from, then yes. But who does that? You can look rich for a very, very small amount of money. And you can use the language of rich people. One of the first things that I realized after I developed a friendship with a millionaire for the very first time was that he used a different language, and it was really interesting. It's these small things. Instead of saying it can't be done, how can this be done? This is a huge problem. This is an interesting challenge. This is too risky. This is a great opportunity. I want to buy stocks. I want to invest in companies I believe in. The way you use your language and the way you speak your future into existence defines whether or not this future will be filled with wealth or poverty. And if you want me to help you on this journey, if you want me to help you to raise your vibration, to change your language, to change your mindset, and to feel rich and to attract money in the process, then you can inquire for your first Skype coaching session with me. Because remember, rich people invest in themselves and not in bling bling to show off on Instagram. So if you want to invest in yourself and you want me to help you as your coach, then you can check out the link in the description and inquire for your first Skype coaching session with me. And you can also test the things that you could buy if you were rich. At the beginning, I gave you the advice to not fall into the Instagram trap, into buying stuff right now that puts you in debt, which then again messes up your vibration. Because let's face it, if you constantly struggle with making payments for something that makes you look rich to impress others, then you're falling in two traps. Trap number one, you're always coming from a place of lack because you desperately try to impress others, and this feeling can't lead to abundance. And the second trap, when you worry about money because you can't make the payments of your fancy gadgets, then you introduce worry and fear into your vibration. But you can still test these things and feel how it would feel like if you had them. And I want to share a quick funny experience with you that shows how most people think about rich people, which again comes back to this whole image that a lot of people portray on Instagram. A couple of months ago, in fact the last time when I was visiting Germany, I met a friend at a cafe, and this cafe was a little bit outside of the city where all the car dealerships were. And after talking for a while, we just went for a walk and we looked at some cars. And there was an Audi dealership, and there was a used Audi R8, like one of those supercars, sports cars. And if you're a Skype coaching client of mine and you've already seen my face, then you know that even though I'm 30, I look like 18, 19, 20 on my best days. So yeah, maybe not aging is just a benefit of being connected to source energy, I don't know. But anyway, on this day I was dressed just in a plain t-shirt and a jeans and some sneakers, really some old sneakers that I have for the last 3 years actually. And I asked the saleswoman about the car and if I could sit in it just to test it, just to see if it makes me feel better. I just wanted to have this experience to just test it. And I could really see the reluctance in her face, because her face said, "You can't afford this anyway, don't even bother me, don't waste my time." And of course, she didn't know that I could actually afford more than one of them. But still, she thought, hey, this guy looks poor, that's why he's not rich. And now we're coming full circle. Always remember that rich people feel rich, they don't try to appear rich. And that's why they vibrate on the frequency of abundance. At the same time, broke people try to appear rich, but they don't feel rich, and that's why they vibrate at a frequency of lack. And now let me ask you this important question. How do you manifest money? Do you manifest money with your appearance or with your emotions? A deliberate creator knows the answer. And if you want me to help you to find the answer, and also the answer to so many other questions that you're asking yourself right now, then you can check out the link in the description and inquire for your first Skype coaching session with me. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please send out some love to the YouTube universe by giving this video a big thumbs up. And I would also appreciate it if you would leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about my video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you.